This is the story of Tupolev. Moscow, 1934. Imagine the sky. A giant named Maxim Gorky breaks through the clouds. The largest aircraft of its time. It was the dream of a man, Andrei Tupolev. A genius whose name became synonymous with innovation, power, and the ups and downs of aviation for 90 years. How did a company in the heart of the Soviet Union conquer the skies amid wars and global competition? In 1922, Andrei Tupolev, a young and ambitious engineer, founded the Tupolev Design Bureau. His goal was simple but bold: to build aircraft that would not only compete with the West but surpass it. In the 1930s, Tupolev and his team astonished the world with the An-20 Maxim Gorky. An aircraft with 8 engines and space for 70 passengers, it was a symbol of Soviet power. But in 1935, this giant of the skies tragically crashed, teaching Tupolev bitter lessons. During World War II, Tupolev returned to the battlefield. The fast, versatile Tu-2 bomber shone brightly on the Eastern Front and became one of the pillars of the Soviet Air Force. Pilots called it the Sky War Horse. This aircraft not only struck the enemy but also lifted the morale of Soviet troops. After the war, Tupolev looked to new horizons, the jet age. The Tu-95 Bear, a strategic bomber, was born in 1952. A thunderous giant, capable of flying 830 km per hour with a range of 15,000 kilometers, enough to reach deep into American territory without refueling. Its story is remarkable, and NATO watched it with alarm. After the Tu-95 came the Tu-160 Blackjack, capable of supersonic speeds of 2,200 km per hour and carrying 45 tons of weapons. It was the fastest and most formidable bomber of its era. Like a giant eagle conquering the sky. But Tupolev was not only about war. In the 1950s, airports grew busier, and civil aviation became essential. The Tu-104 stunned the world as the Soviet Union's first passenger jet. After that, the Tu-114 broke world records with a cruising speed of 800 km per hour and capacity for 220 passengers. In 1970, an Iranian pilot landed a Tu-154 at Tehran's Mehrabad airport during a severe storm. He later recalled that the aircraft felt like a loyal friend, hardworking and reliable. Tupolev in Iran. In the 1990s, Iran purchased several Tu-154s. These aircraft flew for Iran Air and private companies, connecting Tehran with cities near and far. But sanctions and the difficulty of obtaining spare parts eventually grounded these Russian birds. The last Iranian Tu-154 retired in the early 2000s. Tupolev in the skies of the world. Tupolev aircraft were exported to more than 20 countries, from Cuba to China. During the Cold War, these exports were part of the Soviet strategy to expand its influence. The Tu-154 in Poland, Tu-16 in Iraq, Tu-95 in India, and Tu-154 in Iran. They became ambassadors of the Eastern Bloc abroad. The collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991 left Tupolev in financial crisis, with many unfinished projects. The Tu-154 gradually disappeared due to safety concerns, environmental standards, and fierce competition with Boeing and Airbus. However, most of its problems stemmed from poor maintenance and lack of spare parts rather than design flaws. Pushing innovation. In 1968, Tupolev surprised the world again. The Tu-144, the world's first supersonic passenger jet, flew at 2,500 km/h before the French Concorde. But technical issues and a tragic crash at the 1973 Paris Air Show shortened the life of the Russian Concorde. Still, it proved that Tupolev could push the boundaries of technology. Today, Tupolev is part of Russia's United Aircraft Corporation. Upgraded versions of the Tu-160M remain in service with the Russian Air Force, and new projects, such as the Tu-214 and next-generation drones, show that the company is still active. Over 18,000 Tupolev aircraft have been built, and many continue to fly worldwide. Domestically, Tupolev competed with Aviation and Antonov, but on the global stage, its rivals were Boeing and Airbus. The Tu-95 versus America's B-52, the Tu-160 versus the B-1 Lancer, these were contests of speed and power. And in the civilian market, Tupolev competed for a share of global air travel against the Western giants. Tupolev is a story of dreams, battles, triumphs, and setbacks. From mighty war machines like the Tu-160 to iconic passenger jets like the Tu-154. This company changed the sky forever. Tupolev reminds us that the dream of an engineer can rewrite the history of flight. Tupolev, a name that still resonates.